Good morning and welcome back to the vlog. It's a brand new week, although it is a brand new week in vlogging world, but it's actually Saturday morning you're joining me. We are heading through to Edinburgh. I have an appointment at Surface Beauty in town. That's Norma that owns that business, and she's been doing my aesthetic treatments for a couple of years now. So I am just heading through there with Gary, and yeah, I can't wait actually. I always just feel like just refreshed. So we will see what is in store for me today, but certainly a little top up of, so I get a little bit of Botox and a little bit of filler in my lips as well. And loads of reasons for that. Obviously, my face, my body, my choice. But actually, it's been quite revolutionary for me because when I had my kind of big weight loss, you lose a lot of volume from your face. And so everything can just kind of like drop a little, which makes so much sense because if there's not as much like fat there, then there's nothing to like keep it looking full. And so it all just kind of drops out a little. And I'd had a couple of wrinkles that I was actually starting to get a little self-conscious about, and people were pointing them out to me. People would be like, oh, is that a scar? I'm like, no, that's a wrinkle. And it's not that I'm opposed to aging, but I'm also, if there's things that you want to kind of tweak or enhance, like why not? How is it any different from getting highlights? I just think anything that makes you feel phenomenal, you do you, and we shouldn't be, judging or criticizing what anyone else is doing. I do think, as always, make sure you're going to a certified, qualified practitioner always with these types of things. I've been going to the same woman in Edinburgh for, I think I got my first treatment when I was 35. I held back because it's once you start, you're in, but it's also preventative, which I hadn't realised about Botox or anything like that. Because once you've got lines there, like they're there. And even as I'm talking to you, I can see how much movement I have on my forehead. So yeah, we're needing a little boost. But I'm so excited. So anyway, I shall take you with me. And yeah, we're looking forward to an exciting week ahead.
The light is fading fast. From this old town we gotta go. Our bags are packed, so what we waiting for? There's no point in delaying what we both already know. Escape this time with me.
Welcome back to the vlog. I hope you are all enjoying this episode so far. As promised, I told you I would have a little sit down and a little deep dive, shall we say, into some of the treatments that I get to help me look and feel my best. We have got to know each other on quite a deep and personal level over the last couple of weeks. That is part of my message and my mission. I have shared openly online for a long time, and I will continue to do so so long as I A, enjoy it, and B, continue to get the incredible response that I get from people. My purpose and my quest has always been this: if I can inspire or help or support one person to feel incredible, to dare to dream, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And the more my brand grows and my online reach grows, the more people I am able to connect with, have a kind of global online conversation with. And I love it. I just love it. So you guys know that I've been on a huge journey in terms of my mindset, my confidence, my kind of body and my physical transformation. And that actually isn't just about my body. It's about like my whole physical being. things change as we obviously got older, but also as we lose weight or build muscle, things change. Also, what I would say is, so what I always kind of preach, if you will, and practice, by the way, first and foremostly, is like the glow, it starts within. Like, it starts from within. And we will not be looking our absolute best or feeling our absolute best if we're not taking really good care of ourselves on the inside. So for me, amazing hair, skin, nails, like bright eyes, all of that starts from how we're hydrating, how we're nourishing our body, how we are prioritizing rest and sleep, like all of those things. Everything else is like a little bolt-on bonus, but we need to start with those fundamentals. Like, we just absolutely have to. And what I would also say, and I actually haven't spoke as much about this subject for a while, not intentionally, but the biggest game changer for my physical appearance was removing alcohol. Like, my face looks completely different. And yes, I'll talk a little bit about why that is. But it happened when I removed alcohol. And I'm now like so many years sober, like more than 6 years alcohol free. And I continue to feel the benefits and reap the rewards. It's honestly utopia for me. And it still blows my mind that that's something that I've accomplished. Because if you knew me before, you wouldn't think that that would be something that I would necessarily be able to master. I guess the same goes for my weight as well, though. At one point in my life, I couldn't manage that. And so little by little, when we start doing things that we think are not for us, are out of reach, and other people can do them, but for whatever reason we can't seem to master it, we can master it. We absolutely can. And that's what I help people to do as a coach. I work one-to-one with people to help them master their mindset, build their confidence, map out their career plan, their business plan. And then we cover all of it, right? From like pricing to salary negotiation to how they're dressing and are they showing up with as their best self. And these are all subjects that I'm going to bring to this space because I feel so passionately about it. Like, we are not going to seal the deal of a lifetime or deliver the pitch that's going to like take your business to the next level sitting in like the irony of what I'm about to say when I'm sitting here in a little matching tracksuit. But we're not going to achieve those like massive milestone moments when we're in like sweats or like working from home in pajamas. Something I never do, by the way, ever. And to be honest, like in this whole space, this is all my opinion. This is all my philosophy, my opinion, because this is obviously my channel where I share my ideas and my insights. And some of them perhaps are a little like, well, they're not extreme, let's be honest. But I believe that we should absolutely be taking pride in our appearance. Again, I want to caveat to say that this is not anything to do with looking for perfection and everybody looking the same, and it's nothing to do with the size on the back of your jeans. It's nothing to do with the number on a scale when you jump on it. It's not that. It is not that. It is about putting your best foot forward and showing up as the highest version of you. And actually, some of those things, they're all cues. As soon as I put like power dressing will be different for all of us, but even when I'm off duty, I'm still put together, I'm still coordinated, I'm still wearing something that's considered because that's just my personal style and aesthetic. Even like pajamas and things, like everything has to, but that's like me. I like to look nice at all times, but it's because it helps build confidence, and our outfit, the way we dress, it can boost us. It can give us a little boost between how we're feeling on that day and then putting on something that makes us feel good. We're like, oh, I got this. I've so got this. And that then enhances mindset, which shapes performance and delivery. It's not like each of these things just stand alone in a silo and they don't matter. They do. They all make up kind of like the fabric of how you're living your life, your lifestyle, ultimately. So I said I would do full disclosure on this little face, and not last episode, but the episode before, I obviously spoke about cosmetic surgery and what procedures I'd had. And so the same was true where I had like loose skin on my body. I've noticed a real difference in my face, you know, throughout the course of my weight loss, but then especially once I hit that kind of 17 stone marker, like you lose so much volume, especially when your body transformation has been quite quick. Mine's actually wasn't quick, mine's was quite slow. But when you are leaning into exercise, that can actually, running in particular, it can have a bit of an impact on your face and how that looks as well. And so I made the decision, and it was highly considered and researched before I bit the bullet, as I think all things should be, especially when you're talking about injectables and we're talking about our face. Again, what I would say is, like, I would always start with products. So all of the products I use are all organic, they're all clean, they're all, again, highly researched, and I do take good care of my skin. I'll talk more about like the products I use. If you're interested in that, I'll share a little bit about the products I use. I shared a bit about my hair tutorial in the last video, and I've been overwhelmed by the number of questions about like, what product is that though? And what else do you use? And what other products? So I know that there's a bit of an interest in that. So we'll also share those things. But I made the decision at 35, I decided like, right, I'm going to get like just a little bit of Botox here. I actually had quite a significant wrinkle on my, like the bridge of my nose, and everybody kept thinking it was a scar, and like my makeup would kind of settle in it and people would be like, oh, and everybody pointed it out. It's so wild. If you see something on someone's face, maybe don't comment. If you see something, maybe don't say, was that a scar? Like, maybe just don't comment on people's appearance, unless it's positive and you're given a compliment. Anyway, people started asking, is this a scar? Is this a scar? And my makeup would settle in it and it made it more prominent. And it's not like it made me insecure, but I film a lot and I take a lot of content and I take a lot of pictures, and it just started bothering me. And I was like, what can I do about this? So I done my research. I started working with Norma at Surface Beauty Aesthetics. She's amazing. She is amazing. And I've been seeing her ever since. I go every 3 to 6 months, but we do different things. I don't get everything done all the time. But as I lost a bit more, so I started getting just a little bit of Botox up here. And then after maybe a couple of years, I started getting a teeny tiny bit in my little crow's feet, which do not exist, as you can see. But you can see there's still like a bit of movement there, not a lot, but that's because I had a top up at the weekend. And then I think the thing that was, I was so on the fence about it, because I was like, I just don't want to look like too pouty. And so I was really nervous about getting any sort of filler or anything done to my lips. But they had lost so much volume from weight loss that they were almost like concave, not quite, but sort of, and they were looking like a little like baggy. And so we went like slow and steady. But to be honest, looking back at before and after, it's not like I wish I'd done it sooner, but the results have been so incredible for me. And it's all natural. Like, I don't think, well, I would say it's all natural. It doesn't look overdone. I don't think anyone would look at me and think that I would lose, like, I mean, those of us who know, right? You'll look at someone and you're like, they've definitely had Botox, they've definitely had this, da-da-da. But the same thing, like, so what? Their face, like, it's nobody else's business at all. And I think, like, we are the only ones who can decide and determine what is right for us and what makes us feel great. And so the only other thing that I have had is, same thing, I started to notice like a real drop in volume around like my jaw and my chin, because face that used to be fuller then wasn't, and it had all kind of dropped down again with all the running as well. And so we were able to tighten up just a little here, again, just with like light injectables. We've not ventured any further than that yet, but I'm so open. I'm not opposed to anything. I would, who knows? I just want to feel brilliant and love what I see in the mirror. And that, by the way, is not vanity. That helps build confidence. If you feel like, I love the way I look, and let's be honest, how many of us can really say that? Because society is always telling us, like, even when we do get in phenomenal shape, then there will be like a different trend, and like you might have worked really hard to get really like slim and slight and toned, but strong is really in just now. That seems to be really trendy, which is actually a good thing. It's like, I'm a muscle girl and I'm all about lifting, and so I think it's great that we're all being encouraged to be, but it's like, it goes through cycles. And so I think we should all be focusing on health, wellness, confidence, feeling amazing versus chasing someone else's idea of what that means for us. But as part of that, you are empowered. All of you are empowered to do whatever it is that makes you feel brilliant. And we don't need to, I think it's so funny that this is still a bit of a taboo subject, and it's why I actually wanted to be really honest about it. I know my face looks different from how my face used to look. Not massively so, I'm still recognised. Well, it's difficult to say if I'm still recognisable because I know people don't recognise me on the street. But I think that's also because my body is so different. So I just look different in general. But anyway, what else do I get done? That's really it. We did do something new on Saturday, and we done a little teeny tiny bit of filler here to start building some volume back up. That was the first time we had done that. And I'll be honest, I had gone in with a list the length of my arm to say to Norma, I was like, I think this, I think this, I think these things, I think all of these things. And she's amazing, and this is why I continue to work with her, because she was like, I don't really see what you're talking about. And she has the thing I mentioned about like my chin and my jaw. I mentioned that for a solid 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, before Norma was like, okay, let's do something about it. And it's not like she just so listens, but she also helps apply restraint to avoid going too far with these things, which I know can be like a little bit of a slippery slope. So anyway, I adore the work I get done. I adore my aesthetics practitioner, and who knows what else I would maybe want done in the future. So I wanted to be very open about this subject. I also wanted to remind us all to like just be kind to each other, and of course it's what's on the inside, as in our heart and our brain and our soul, that matters most. But we will also all feel more confident if we feel like we look great and we want to put like our best foot forward and show up with like a presence and a conviction that comes with true confidence, and feeling like you feel strong in your appearance and in your body. Guys, I used to hate how I looked. How horrible is that to say? Like, it breaks my little heart to even say that. And so I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep living my best life. I'll do whatever works for me. I'll train 3 times a day if I want to. I'll have, make sure I'm prioritizing all my rest. I'll go and get little tweak bints if I so choose, because this is my one life and this is your one life, and we get to live it however we choose.
Escape this time with me. We could rent a room and watch the stars dance round the moon, fall asleep to the sounds of the sea. With you right by my side, it's such a sweet life. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me.
Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. It has been a really great week, but we are off, well I am off, on a very exciting trip to London. Gary and I are just having a laugh in the car Gary and I experience peak levels of energy at very different times of the day. So I am very morning, like very, very morning. What time is it? It's 4 a.m, 9 minutes past 4 to be exact. And I'm like high as a kite. I don't even know what I'm talking about, just like excited and chatting away and happy. But this is just me in the morning. Gary, however, not even anything to say, a hand wave. A hand wave.
Guten Morgen, ja.
Gary experiences peak energy in the evenings. So, yeah,
come back to the vlog tonight.
We won't be together tonight.
Oh well.
So anyway, I'm taking you with me on a very exciting trip to London. And this is a bit of a different trip actually. So yes, it's absolutely business and I'm meeting clients today and I can't wait. I'm also catching up with some friends that I've not seen for ages, so that's going to be wonderful. But the purpose for my trip is actually a day retreat tomorrow, and I am beyond excited about it. There was something about this event that really called to me. The marketing, the messaging, the tone of voice, it was all very different. And when you applied for a space, you had to share, answer questions. I don't know, the whole thing about it has just felt very bespoke, very immersive, I would say. But the one and only Miss Roxie Nafousi is going to be there. She is talking at the event, and I've been to a lot of things that Roxie's done. I've obviously read all of her books. I would say that Manifest, the Orange Book, you all know the one. If you don't know, get to know. Honestly, it's amazing. I would say that book changed my life. I read it at such a pivotal point in my life where I was just feeling such huge transformation, and it really gave me the courage, conviction, belief to go build my life back in a different way that felt more aligned to me, and to perhaps address things that I knew were no longer right for me. So yeah, but the thing about tomorrow is it's a far more intimate event, much smaller. It's in the Shard, and it's going to be amazing, I can just tell. And there's also, it talks about so it's where neuroscience meets manifestation. So I am fascinated with the brain, and in fact something that I want to continue to learn more about this year is, obviously I'm always learning about the human body and how it works, but certainly from a mindset point of view, this is why this is fascinating for me as, a coach, a performance coach, a success coach, mindset coach, whatever word you want to put in front of coach. It's all about striving to be the best you can be. And so of course I'm fascinated with all things neuroscience as well as spirituality, and I think that's what I'm really looking forward to. Of course there'll be all the energetic healing, but interestingly they're also speaking about something spinal energetics and release for alignment. So there was just a few things that felt a bit more groundbreaking and kind of future forward for me for this event, that I was because I obviously want to stay at the top of my game. I want to be well informed, well researched, just well educated in my industry, in my field, and all of the things that are going to help me help you live your best life. So headed to the airport. Guys, I've not even had coffee yet. I've actually been addressing my caffeine situation over the last week. I'd made a shift back to green tea in the morning. We had swapped to decaf anyway, hadn't we? We had made the swap to decaf in maybe November, because you're obviously it's not ideal having caffeine on an empty stomach. And also I meditate every morning, and I was finding that I was meditating to regulate my nervous system, and then I was having caffeine and it would just spike it again. So but I'm also being very mindful of just everything, all of my habits. So I've made the switch back to green tea, and I'm actually feeling fantastic for it. And so that delayed gratification so that when I do get coffee at the airport, I'm appreciating it much more. Sometimes my first coffee hasn't come until like 10 in the day now, and I've actually found that that's meant that I'm actually only having one rather than two. So it's these little small adjustments that all add up over the course of your day, your week, your month, that help you feel well and help you show up for yourself consistently. And for me, that's what we are looking for. So I'll be taking you with me. We are in for an exciting adventure, and yeah, can't wait.
Nowhere else to be. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me.
Hi. So we are in London, all smooth with travel this morning and flights. A little change to my schedule today. So I have found myself with some free time, which is very exciting. And just getting this lovely light in. I found myself with some free time. So I've booked myself in for a little Pilates class, a little reformer class, just around the corner. So I'm going to head there now, and then I will come back, get ready, and head into my afternoon meetings that I have. So yeah, I'm excited, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Escape this time with me. Nowhere else to be. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me.
Yesterday, you can tell I haven't really spoke yet. I had a wonderful day yesterday. I had some meetings move around, as I said to you, and so I ended up having a little bit more time for me, which was amazing. And then I caught up with a friend for dinner last night, and then had a great big sleep. So that is amazing. Just heading down for breakfast, and then I'm going to make my way to the venue, and I'm so excited. I am so excited. I don't actually know if I've even told you much about what this event is, but I knew that January was going to be a very busy month for me, and when I seen this event advertised, I was like, yep, the timing's perfect. Everything about it just totally called to me, and so I'm really excited. And I think when you're in a job like mine, which is creating a safe space for other people to be like really vulnerable, really open, but also really creative, really inspired, I need to do the most to keep my energy, like to have enough to lend to others, if you know what I mean. And so always taking time at regular intervals to make sure I'm like really nurturing myself as well as learning is really important. So anyway, time for coffee, and yeah, let's see what the day has in store.
Escape this time with me. With me. Nowhere else to be. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me. Fading fast from this old town, we gotta go. Our bags are packed, so what we waiting for? There's no point in delaying what we both already know. Escape this time with me. Escape this time with me. We could rent a room
I don't even know where to begin. I am just home from Access London, which is the event that I was at today. Melinda and team are quite simply extraordinary. I think I said, like, I knew I needed to be in that room today. I didn't know why, but I trust my intuition. I have continued on my journey of enlightenment, discovery, healing. I have felt profound shifts when I have stepped into new rooms that challenge me and that hold space for me. I actually had a really profound Reiki experience not so long ago at a wellness retreat, and since then it unlocked something in me, and I've been through a lot of change over the last year or so, and I'm also aware that I am still healing from a lot of, things that I have experienced in my life. I have definitely experienced some real deep grief and loss, which, we have discussed here, and that's not what I'm going to go into just now. But what I am going to tell you is, I know that I will look back on this day and absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt that the next chapter of my life truly began in that room, in the shard, up in the clouds, connecting with extraordinary people. I have met people that I know I will be friends with for life. Like, I met them today, 10 hours ago, less than that, and there was such mega connection. I also experienced quite a lot of release, and it's so funny because when I was applying for my spot, but communicating about the tickets or the booking, I said I need to surrender. I love a lot of my qualities and my attributes, but I also I question, and I don't mean question as in doubt, but I'm like, why do I do something that way? Is there a different way to do it? Am I happy with how I do that? I assess, so that I'm just very self-aware, and I like to think about how I think, so that then I am moving with intention, and I'm moving through my life with purpose, on purpose. And so I knew today was going to be amazing. Now, I actually experienced something today that I've never done before. Also, I can't believe I'm not starting with this bit. I also met my absolute idol, Roxie Nafousi. Roxie has been a bit of an anchor throughout my journey. I first came across Manifest, the book, when I was figuring out who I was as a cancer survivor, and what life was going to mean for me if it wasn't going to mean what I thought. If my path was going to look different from what I thought it was going to look, in terms of family and things like that. Then I was like, what does this mean? What do I do now? And that's not to say that, God, I've never spoke about this before. That's not to say that options are off the table for me. They're not. They're absolutely not. But I've not been really ready to think about it, talk about it, clearly, especially not online. But anyway, Roxie's book came into my life, and Roxie came into my life almost like an oracle when I needed it most. And it gave me such strength and power, and also a framework to follow. And my whole life has changed. And I have read all of her work. I'm in her community. I listened to her podcast. I went to see her with my friends Kate and Gemma a couple of Januaries ago, and so she's been this anchor, and she was part of the reason why I wanted to be there today. And I ended up, just the way it fell, I ended up sitting literally right in front of her, and I was just mesmerized. Every word that she said, I was it felt like she was speaking directly to me. And they asked the floor for questions, and so I didn't like jump in first, but I took the I did take the chance to tell her how profound her work had been on me and my life, and how much my, oh sorry, that's a very aggressive camera shift. There's also, I think there's like a stain on this little curtain and it's really bothering me. It's really bothering me. Although I am in a lovely room in my hotel, and I've just ordered room service, which I don't ever do. Even if I'm by myself, I'll like get changed and go to the restaurant, or I'll go to another restaurant and have dinner. I love going out for a little date by myself. But I want to stay in my like zone of upgrade. That's how I feel. I feel like my life's just been upgraded. So anyway, so I did tell Roxie the power of her work in my life, and my voice was, I could hear the emotion, because I was thinking back to me when I first opened her book, sitting in my bed, in my house, a different house from what I'm in now, really hopeless, but with so much fire still there, but yet to be ignited again, and that's what her work has done. It's definitely helped like reignite my fire, my passion, my drive, everything. And as I was telling her, and she was literally like 2 feet away from me, I could hear all the emotion, and she could feel the whole room I think heard it, and she like gave me a hug, and it was just mega. So I can't believe I didn't start with that. And then I spoke to her for a little bit afterwards. She's just like a queen. I just love her. But so there was lots of lovely breath work, and actually some new forms that I learned today as well that I'd never experienced before. The session with Roxie and Melinda, which was phenomenal, and then we done a session called Spinal Energetics. I have never done this modality before. I hadn't even heard of it. Yeah, something pretty major happened to me. And the practitioner, so there was a group of them in the room. I'm sure there was videographer and photographer there. I'm fairly sure that what happened for me might have been captured on camera, because it was quite extreme. I had a huge physical response, a surrender and release, like full body convulsions, like chest up off the floor, shaking, head jolted back, like totally not in control of my body. And I won't talk about the theory behind it because I don't know it well enough, but in summary, they basically said that their work is energy manipulation and moving energy around the body, manipulating from where we have too much to where we need more. I sobbed. I was full on like release shake. At one point I couldn't even catch my breath at one point, and then I experienced like intense heat in different parts of my body, and it's always around, of course it is, it's always around like my hips. Women store a lot of emotions in our hips, but that's also a major well, that's where I was sick, right? That's where I've experienced a lot of trauma. And I won't share any more than that because I haven't even like debriefed with my incredible partner yet. But I'll say this: stay open to things that you know nothing about. Keep your heart and your mind open. Keep putting yourself in rooms that your intuition tells you need to be in. Rooms, and yes, in person, but like virtual spaces and places as well. Keep following the pull of like your inner knowing and the pursuit of your path. There is so much that we just do not know about things that have the power to change our life. We cannot stay doing the same thing all the time and expect to grow and learn and evolve. If you're someone who wants to really experience profound connection, purpose, passion, drive, desire, love, lust, all of the depth and the richness of the world, get yourself up off the sofa, connect with people. And this is the thing, you know in your gut if the places you're in are lighting you up and are aligned with where you're going, or if they are draining you, you don't feel like people see you. Like, you need to keep changing your environment. And now that doesn't mean like letting go of every connection you've ever had, but you absolutely, if things are stifling you and keeping you limited and small and not creating space for you to like be your fullest, baddest, bestest, fucking most audacious, like vibrant, big self, get out of those spaces and find yourself new ones to be in. I'm going to leave it here, guys. My room service will be here soon, and I'm actually going to wrap the vlog up here as well, because I actually don't always think of Monday as the first day of the week. I tend to think of Sunday as the first day of the week, because Sunday's like a work day for me. Sometimes it's in-person coaching, but I also I love to start, like, plan, prep. Yeah, Sunday is the first day of the week for me, and we have a big week coming up. We have so much going on this week, and I invite you all to join me for the next level of this exceptional life of mine. Strap on in, it's going to be a wild one. See you soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you subscribe. That's very helpful for me. And thank you for all your messages. Do keep in touch and let me know if anything from this episode resonates with you. If you have any questions, I will link as many of the things that I have mentioned during this episode, which has been a bit of a bumper-packed edition. And I am so grateful for every single one of you, and I adore you all.